Good morning, boys and girls, or good afternoon if this is my afternoon class. Today we're going to learn probability and experiments. First, let's do a quick review from our last class. It says how many people play two sports? Remember, when you have a Venn diagram and you have two overlapping circles, those are circles that have something in common. So here we have two students who play football and baseball, three students who play football and basketball, and one student who plays basketball and baseball. That gives us a total of 6 people. Have your note paper and a pencil ready to go, and you will be answering questions as we go through today's lesson. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Taking a quick look at this week, remember our homework due on Sunday is our circle graphs and probability basics homework. Our homework from yesterday and our homework for tonight will be due April 30th. Tomorrow we will have homework help and office hours. Probability is when you're asking, what are the chances of something happening? What are the chances that I will get an A on our test? What are the chances that I will win the lottery? Those are all examples of probability. So let's warm up with a mini experiment. Remember, we learned in class last Thursday before spring break that probability is your number of favorable outcomes over the total possible outcomes that you could have. So our question here says, what is the probability that you will pull an orange circle out of the bag? Please take a second to answer this question. So if we count all of our circles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we see we have a total of 10 circles. There are 2 orange circles out of the total of 10. So our probability would be 2 over 10, or simplify it to 1 over 5. What is the probability of pulling a green circle? Please take a second to answer this question. If we count, we see we have a total of 4 green circles. So we still have 10 total. So our probability is 4 out of 10, or simplified, 2 out of 5. Take a moment and answer, what's the probability of pulling a yellow circle? We still have a total of 10, and now we have 3 yellow circles. We can't simplify this fraction, so our probability is just 3 out of 10. And finally, answer, what is the probability of pulling a blue circle? We can see that we only have 1 blue circle out of the 10 circles possible, so our probability here would be 1 out of 10. We're going to review some quick vocabulary before we get farther into our experiment. An experiment is an action with a result. So for this example, we have our spinner. So an experiment example would be spinning the spinner 1 time. The outcome is the result of the experiment. What did you land on? The possible outcomes are each outcome that you could get. In this case, fish, cat, and dog. An event is one or more of the possible outcomes. So an event is each spin would be a different event, or each outcome, fish, dog, cat, is a different event. And then the probability of event is always written with P in italics and the event in parentheses. So the probability of getting a fish, we would write P and fish in parentheses. That's telling us that I want to know what is the probability of spinning a fish on our spinner. Remember, the formula again is your favorable outcomes over total possible outcomes. So here, our probability of getting a fish would be our number of sections with a fish, in this case 2, over our total number of sections, in this case 6. So let's simplify that to 1 out of 3. Remember, to find our decimal, we divide. This stands for 1 divided by 3. So our decimal would be found by dividing 1 by 3. 3 can't go into 1, so I'm going to add a decimal point and a couple zeros, and I'll bring my decimal point up into my answer. 3 goes into 10, 3 goes into 10 3 times, which is 9. We subtract and get 1. Bring down my 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. I subtract 9, I get 1. I can see that this is going to be a repeating decimal, so I'm just going to stop here and say that my decimal is 0.33, repeating. When you have to figure out your percent, just read your decimal out loud. Here we have 33 hundredths, which would give us 33 over 100. Because it's a repeating decimal, I am going to add that 0.3 in there as well. So my percent would be 33.3%. Let's try one together. A bag contains 8 red chips, 15 white chips, 4 black chips, and 13 blue chips. One chip is randomly drawn from the bag. What is the probability of getting a red or black chip? So I'm going to put P for probability and then red or black because I can have either. My numerator is going to be my total number of red chips and black chips over my total number of chips. If we add all of our chips together, we see that we have a total of 40 possible chips. So, take a moment and figure out what will our numerator be. Well, if we add 8 plus 4, we get 12. So the option of getting a red or a black chip is 12 possible pulls out of 40. We can simplify that to 3 over 10 because 12 and 40 can both be divided by 4. Go ahead and take a moment to tell me what would the percent be if our probability is 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 is 30%. Remember, if you aren't positive, you can always make it out of 100. So add a 0 on each, and you get 30 over 100, which is 30%. Quick check. A bag contains 8 red chips, 15 white chips, 4 black chips, 13 blue chips. One chip is randomly drawn from the bag. What is the probability of getting a white, black, or blue chip? So now we can use white chips, black chips, or blue chips. Take a moment to answer this question. Well, when you add all of the possible chips you could use, you get 32 out of 40. If I divide these, 32 divided by 40, I get 0.8. 0.8 is the same as 80%. So our answer here is A. All right, we're going to do our own classroom experiment here. We're going to use M&Ms. So in the content folder, I do have this sheet that you guys can print out. It's a PDF. You can print it out if you want to follow along with me. And I'm going to put my little webcam clip here on the screen so you can see. And what we're going to do here is I have a nice big bag of M&Ms, and we are going to draw an M&M. We're going to do 10 total trials. So we're going to pick 10 total M&Ms, and for each one, for each trial, we're going to label what color the M&M is. So here we go. My first pick, brown. So I'm going to put my piece of candy back in the bag, and I'm going to put a tally under brown. Shake it up. Let's do another. All right. Ooh, I dropped one. Green. So I'm going to put it back in the bag and the one that I dropped. And I'm going to put a tally under green. Shake it up. Our next one is yellow. So let's put a tally under yellow and put my M&M back. Trial number 4, orange. All right, trial number 5, yellow. All right, so we're halfway done. Trial number 6, orange. These smell really good. I want to eat them. Trial number 7, brown. trial number 8. Brown again. All right. Trial number 9. Orange. And trial 10. Brown. So let's total these up. We have no red, 2 yellow, 3 orange, 4 brown, 1 green, and no blue. All right, let's go ahead. Whoop, hang on, losing my screen here. There we go. All right, let's keep moving here. So 0, 2, 3, 4, 1, 0. So we had 0, 2, 3, 4, 1, 0. So based on our experiment, let's figure out the probability of pulling each color and our percent. So our experimental probability. So this isn't the probability that everybody would have. It's just the probability we have based on our experiment. So we're going to do the number of times an event occurred over our total number of experiments. So we pulled 10 times, so all of these are going to be over 10. Let's fill that in. All right, our probability of getting red was 0 over 10. So that's an easy percent there. We're going to be at 0%. Our probability of getting yellow was 2 over 10, which simplifies, should have given myself some more room here, to 1 over 5. Go ahead and take a moment to fill in the percent for yellow. All right, so 2 over 10 is 1 over 5, or 20%. Orange was 3 pulls out of 10, which is 30%. 4 was 4 pulls out of 10, which simplifies to 2 over 5. As a percent, that is 40%. Green, we pulled 1 green out of 10, so that's 10%. And finally, blue was 0, so again, we have 0%. Make sure these add up to 100%. 0 plus 20 is 20, plus 30 is 50, plus 40 is 90, plus 10 is 100, plus 0 is 100. So we can say that our probability of pulling a red M&M out of our bag in 10 trials was 0%. Our probability of pulling an orange was 30%. Will this mean everyone's going to have these same answers? No, because there are some red in the bag and there are some blue. It's just the probability for our experiment. We're going to do a quick check here. I conduct an experiment by spinning a spinner 10 times. I've recorded the results in my chart, and based on the experiment results, what is the chance of spinning a heart? Take a moment to answer this question. We can see that in our results, we spun a heart 3 times out of 10 total spins. So we have 3 out of 10, which is 30%. If you have any questions, please make sure to send me an email and let me know. I'll be happy to answer them, or I will absolutely go over them when we have our next class together. You guys did an awesome job today. I hope you enjoyed this Edpuzzle recording. Your homework is the probability and experiments homework. Again, remember, it is not due until the 30th of April, so we can use our homework help sessions next week to assist you with these homeworks. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email, and if not, enjoy the rest of your day.